and thank you for tuning in. At ET Now, we're committed to helping you make sound investments and stronger decisions about your money. So we now bring you a weekly, comprehensive guide to the property market. We have reports, reviews, and checklists so you can find that right home, narrow down the right builder, and make the most profitable and efficient investment when you buy real estate. Remember, you can send in any question you have about buying property to the property guide at etnow.com. On the show this week, we'll begin by focusing on Mumbai. We'll tell you if the property market in the city is headed for a correction and if the bubble is likely to burst. We'll review the micro market of Sarjapur Road in Bangalore, look at all possible investment options for you there, and we'll also tell you how to do your homework when you're planning to buy a resale home. Alright, let's get straight to the main market review. Now, the city of Mumbai. Here's a quick look at all of the changes we've seen in this market in the last 5 years. If you look at Mumbai's skyline, you'll see it's constantly changing. Buildings are getting taller, and the city is expanding to accommodate its ballooning population. The financial capital is also the most expensive property market in India, with over a third of the city's under construction units priced above 1 crore rupees. Over the last 5 years, Mumbai's property market has undergone a transformation. The main business district has moved from Nariman Point in the south to Lower Parel and Worli in central Mumbai, taking with it all of the luxury residential and commercial property launches. Major infrastructure developments like the Eastern Freeway and the monorail have drawn attention away from the western suburbs and moved focus to eastern suburbs like Vadala and Chembur for mid-level residential development. But remember, in Mumbai, mid-level begins at 1.5 crore rupees. The city is also witnessing a slump in sales, with high prices and high interest rates discouraging home buyers. The result is a huge build-up of unsold inventory over the last 2 quarters. Now, with the RBI ruling out the mainstay 80-20 plan, builders with their backs finally against the wall may have to consider dropping prices. Right, and with sales slowing down, you're going to obviously see some interesting price movements as well. My colleague Avan is here with an analysis of the numbers. She has an update. Avan.
Thanks for that, Faye. Well, the numbers from Mumbai tell a very interesting story. I want to start with the suburbs. In the prime western suburbs of Bandra, Khar and Santa Cruz, high-end property has moved up 2,000 rupees in the last quarter. But the prices right now are the same as they were in 2007 at 20,000 rupees per square foot. Further north, the suburbs between Andheri and Dahisar, the prices of mid-range property have moved up only 500 rupees in the last 6 years to 8,500 rupees per square foot. The central suburbs between Ghatkopar, Powai and Mulund have remained unchanged for the last year and have moved up only marginally by 500 rupees from 2011. Mid-range property is priced at 8,000 rupees per square foot. Thane and Navi Mumbai are similarly sluggish, barely moving the needle from 2011. The prices of mid-range property here are around 5,000 to 10,000 rupees per square foot. Now, the only silver lining is South Mumbai, where the prices of high-end luxury property have moved up 5,000 rupees in the last quarter alone and are currently trading at around 40,000 rupees per square foot. High-end property in the south central suburbs of Worli, Prabhadevi and Lower Parel have moved up 7,000 rupees per square foot in the last 5 years, but the oversupply has paralyzed the numbers for the last couple of quarters. The new launches that come with a handsome basket of freebies, they're being priced between 25,000 to 65,000 rupees per square foot. With that, it's back to you, Faye.
All right, Avan, thank you for that update. Joining us now on the show, Ravi Ahuja, Executive Director at Cushman Wakefield. Thank you for joining us. And Om Ahuja is the CEO of Residential Services at Jones Lang LaSalle. Om, thank you for coming in as well. I'm going to get straight to the point. We heard the RBI advise banks, it was not a hard rule, advise banks to stay away from that 80-20 rule that we saw. Avan was just telling us about slowing down sales, the fact that prices haven't moved as rapidly as they normally do in Mumbai over the last 5 years. And to start with you, Om, is the bubble going to burst? Are you seeing on the ground, are you seeing prices come down? Are builders more open to negotiation?
Well, I guess the prices are looking firm at this point of time. They're not looking as if they're coming down. But at the end of the day, we see investors sitting with a checkbook. They certainly can see some room of negotiation with the developers. More and more we believe that at this point of time, there is a possibility that a good deal can be brought into a table in terms of negotiation. But yes, certainly we don't see developers coming out in the market and saying, yes, we're going to give you a discount, we're going to give you a great offer. We're not seeing that happening.
But the 80-20 deal was in some way some sort of a discount that they were offering. Do you think that they would be willing now to turn that into maybe a discount on registration or a discount on parking or something like that?
The certain pricing what developer was basically charging extra on 2080 basis, eventually was charging to the consumer itself. So that passing on that benefit is again possible if there is a consumer sitting with a checkbook on the table where the developer, yes, there is a possibility of a room of negotiation further down, which can range from anywhere between 5% to 15% at this point.
Ravi, we were talking some time ago about the fact that the builders already have their back against the wall as far as financing projects is concerned. They're raising the money to finish projects. Obviously now with this 80-20 off the table entirely, the backs are being pushed further against the wall at this point. Like almost telling us 5 to 15% negotiation. Do you expect that margin to increase over the next 6 months or so?
First of all, it's a great responsible move by RBI in the sense that, it could have led to a far greater bubble, and we've seen some international crises like the subprime and others. So this could have probably continued for next 2 years, 3 years could have probably led there. But yeah, it's just one more scheme short. So knowing our innovative developers, I think till some new promotion scheme come, there would be some way or the other to give discounts. Whether they're indirect or direct is the question, and I think it's time the developers realize that while the input costs may be high, but the margins need to reduce because sales have stagnated. There's no two things about it. To make sales, they have to pass on 8 to 15, maybe in certain cases, in certain pockets of oversupply of Thane or greater suburbs of Mumbai or even Thane district, about 15 to 20, 25%.
Does it make sense if I'm a buyer right now with the cash available or with the loan on standby to wait for 6 months or wait for 4 months perhaps?
Yeah, our estimate is that 3 to 6 months is a great window. Times are uncertain. It's a pre-election year. The job market again is a little sensitive. I think buyers are cautious, but yeah, if you get that 15 to 20% reduced price, and if you're an actual user, should take advantage next 3 to 6 months. And I think much before March, the developers will feel the heat again of repayment of loans, repayment of interest. And we've already seen a couple of those developers default. We've read names like HDIL or Orbit. And I'm sure the other developers don't want to go that route. So they better cut their margins and offer to the actual user a good price.
Let's talk about locations. Within the city of Mumbai, Ravi was just telling us Thane is possibly going to see the largest, negotiation room or negotiation margin, let's call it that. If someone's looking to buy in Mumbai right now, in terms of an area that you believe is going to see the most growth, which one would that be?
I think the affordability is a big parameter in Bombay today. In Mumbai city, when we see affordability, specifically when it comes to central suburbs or extended central suburbs, that's Thane and Navi Mumbai, they make lot of more sense in terms of density, in terms of kind of quality of life you live there. Infrastructure is far superior. So we believe those pockets will see the future growth coming in there and future demand being driven there. So we believe at this point of time, anything to do with from Sion to Navi Mumbai and from Sion to Thane will be the future drivers of demand, and we'll see that there is a good amount of pickup in terms of demand in those sectors, and good negotiation deals, good deals that can be negotiated in these pockets.
Ravi, do you also agree with that entire stretch, or is there a specific neighborhood that you think will do better than the rest?
Some of the neighborhoods in the central suburbs are expected to do well. I think Chembur, Wadala, because of some of the infrastructure developments there. There are some infrastructure developments such as the Santa Cruz Chembur Link Road, which is like 80-90% complete. It's a World Bank funded project. I think that will see light of the day very soon. The monorail, which is under test, and of course Chembur or Wadala is the thoroughfare to the longer-term project of the international airport coming in Navi Mumbai.
Interestingly, Thane mentioned a couple of times it's also possibly the area where you see most room for negotiation, a larger margin for discounts if you're going to take a checkbook and talk across the table from your builder. Here is a list, interestingly, of property in Mumbai that's available right now for booking where builders are open to negotiation or offering discounts. Take a look. Here's a list of properties in Mumbai that have reduced their prices over the last 6 months. Indiabulls Sky Forest in Lower Parel was launched at 23,000 rupees per square foot. The price has been revised downwards to 21,500. Indiabulls Sky Suites in Lower Parel, launched at 22,500 rupees a square foot, is now available at 19,990. The Tata Avesa, launched in Mulund at 13,300, is now offering bulk discounts for a booking of 5 apartments and are also open to negotiating across the table. Kalpatu Radiance in Goregaon West, launched at 16,000 rupees, failed to get a positive response. The builder is now negotiating discounts across the table. Runwal Greens and Runwal Elegante, launched at 11,500 rupees and 18,999, are both now open to negotiation. Okay, let's quickly take some questions. Rajan has written in. He has a budget of 1.5 crore rupees and he wants to know which of these cities will offer him the best return for investment, both rental and in terms of capital value. He wants to choose between Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, Pune, Navi Mumbai and Mumbai. Of the list, which one do you think is going to offer him best return?
Navi Mumbai will make a lot of sense at this point of time in terms of growing infrastructure, expanding city, considering he's already staying in Mumbai and makes sense to get into Navi Mumbai, gives him access, manageable point of view. He can basically look at Navi Mumbai, has a lot of options in this budget, and extending himself to 1.5 CR, he can have a good quality apartment in the space.
Could you narrow that down a little bit in terms of 1.5 crore, if he's going into Navi Mumbai right now, is there a particular street that you think will do very well, or a neighborhood, and a particular project he can focus on at this point?
I think the stretch of Kharghar or extended Kharghar, Taloja probably makes more sense, Kalamboli, and those locations make more sense.
Is there a project there that you think is interesting?
I think the ones with Arihant or some of the other reputed developers. There is a local developer who's actually done a good job, Vadwani Developers. He has 2 towers coming up on extended Kharghar. I think those are good projects.
Time for a short break. Remember, if you have questions about any of the cities that you would like to buy homes in, write to us. Email ID is at the bottom of your screen. When we come back, we'll talk about investment options in Sarjapur Road in Bangalore. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. Thank you for staying with us. Our guests, Ravi Ahuja and Om Ahuja, are still with us, helping us find the right investment options within our property market. It's time for our micro market review, and today we're looking at Sarjapur Road in Bangalore, one of the busiest areas of construction of residential properties in Bangalore right now. Take a look. Sarjapur Road, a 15-kilometer stretch, is currently Bangalore's fastest developing micro market. The main driver of growth in this market is its proximity to the IT cluster areas like Whitefield, Electronic City, the Outer Ring Road and Marthahalli, all of which are less than 19 kilometers away. Sarjapur has witnessed a massive number of residential launches in the last year, both high-end and mid-income. The luxury launches are the Cyril Monthly Primero, priced at 4,900 rupees a square foot, DSR Woodwinds, priced at 5,000 rupees, Prestige Fern Residency at 5,365 rupees, the Shobha Marvella, priced at 6,500 rupees, Prestige Jade Pavilion at 5,700 and the Purva Skyrail at 5,000 rupees. The mid-segment launches, the RBD Stillwater from Shelters, priced at 4,100, Samriddhi Sunshine from the Samriddhi Group at 4,400, ND Passion Elite from ND Developers at 4,500, SNN Raj Eternia at 4,450 and DSR Ultima at 4,150. Right, that was Sarjapur Road in Bangalore. That's a lot of construction coming up on one particular stretch. Is there a risk there of oversupply? Possibly, is there too much happening on that one road?
But I would say that's the safest area in Bangalore for anybody to look at, because there is no bubble there in terms of what you see in North Bangalore, which is Yelahanka, or maybe you look at Hebbal. There are a lot more now new townships have got launched in Hebbal and Yelahanka, where a lot more investments are going in. But this is something where a lot of campuses are in and around, closer to city. Much more social infrastructure is far superior than what Hebbal and Yelahanka have today. Irrespective of supply coming in there, but I guess the demand is very good. The projects being launched in this area are getting absorbed faster, and more we see actual users coming in this area.
Well, Ravi, one of the things that people always complain about as far as Bangalore is concerned is infrastructure. There are a lot of bottlenecks, especially in these IT focus areas where at rush hour going and coming out is impossible. They're all around Sarjapur Road. Do you think that given the kind of construction we're seeing on Sarjapur Road, it's possible infrastructure might not be able to keep up?
I think as we speak, the infrastructure around Sarjapur Road is quite superior compared to some of the other micro market locations. Take Whitefield, for example. It's a big bottleneck to get in and get out. But talking about Sarjapur Road, and it's a 15-kilometer stretch. So yeah, I think overall, from a long-term perspective, supply can be a concern. But today, with rates between 4,000 to 6,000 rupees a square feet, they are well reasonably priced, apartment sales going there. I think one thing very important about Sarjapur Road and some of the projects launched there recently is just about 2 to 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers from the outer ring road. Now, mind you, Bangalore is an ITES destination, and that city thrives only on that particular sector majorly. 80 to 90% of the demand comes by the IT folks. Given the huge IT supply as well as demand on that outer ring road, Sarjapur Road is well poised to continue getting sustained demand. But I think beyond 6,000, 6,500 rupees a square feet, there just might be a little stagnancy on the sales.
But Ravi, of the options that we just talked about, if we're looking at the mid segment per se, of the list that we saw, could you give us a pick of property projects that you think make most sense?
Overall, Sarjapur Road, that 15-kilometer stretch again, has abundant land available, if not directly on the main road, off the main road. So I think my pick would be some of the projects that are just off the main road, just a little away, tucked in from the hustle bustle. Some of the projects that come to my mind are Purvankaras who have launched, and I think lately also increased the price a bit, and some of the other reputed developers like Prestige and others. I would strongly recommend that as an actual user, go for ready or just getting ready kind of construction properties. If you are an investor, and you have a 2 to 3 year view, even though you may be a future actual user in an IT market, because we spoke about the life cycle of the IT employee, I think you could easily hedge at 4,500 to 4,800 rupees per square feet with one of these reputed developers.
So in terms of appreciation over the next 5 years or so, what sort of appreciation would you expect from one of those 70 lakh rupee apartments that you buy, 2 bedrooms on Sarjapur?
Over a 5-year period, 15% annualized appreciation is safer one can look at. Followed by Whitefield is another area which gives us a lot of comfort at this point of time with the current price levels there, ranging again between 3,000 to 4,000, 4,500 max. So these are the two segments, two pockets we feel the returns can be 15% plus annualized.
So both of our guests agreeing that Sarjapur as a neighborhood in general is one of the most stable neighborhoods in Bangalore right now. Let's take a few questions. Surendu has written in. He has 2 apartments that he owns right now, one in Pune and one in Gurgaon, and he has the capacity to invest an additional 70 lakh rupees. He wants to know which of these flats he should upgrade. So between Pune and Gurgaon, which do you think will give him better both rental and capital value appreciation?
Gurgaon gives much more expanded horizon in terms of not only restricting itself to IT. He can look at Gurgaon in terms of adding more there. But again, both have their own merits, both have their own charm. If I was him, I would basically look at Gurgaon in terms of expanding or maybe upgrading myself in Gurgaon.
Within Gurgaon, is there a neighborhood or a particular street that you think is seeing the most development right now that makes sense?
I think the suburbs of Gurgaon towards Sona Road is clearly an area which is identified for good growth prospects. So I would bank on that.
Time for us to take a very good quick break. Thank you both of you for joining us on the show and answering all of those questions. If you have questions for our guests, feel free to write to us. Email ID is at the bottom of your screen. Coming up after the break, we'll give you a checklist of documents to keep handy when you're buying resale property. We'll also answer a couple of legal questions. Don't go anywhere. right, you're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're now entering our legal and tax segment. What we do on this segment is answer questions about legal and tax issues as far as buying property is concerned. We have a question right now that's coming from Vinod. He bought a resale flat in 2008. He tells us when he bought the apartment, the society had not been registered and that he was promised it will be registered over the next few months. Now, it hasn't been registered right now and he's looking to sell that apartment again. And he tells us the builder is demanding an exorbitant charge to give him an NOC to sell that flat. He wants to know what legal remedy he has as an apartment owner right now. In fact, we've got Hemang Jariwala, who is a property lawyer, standing by right now to answer your question. Hemang, thank you for joining us. What can Vinod do?
Under the Transfer of Property Act, under Section 54, once a person has purchased any immovable property and has registered the agreement under Section 17 of the Registration Act, paying full consideration amount, he becomes the absolute owner of the said flat. The builder or the person from whom he has purchased has no further role of demanding any further charges, including NOC charges. There is no question of any no objection charges to be recovered by the builder because the builder has no interest or any sort of a right over the said premises. Secondly, as regards the formation of the society is concerned, under the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, a society needs to be formed and a builder is mandatorily required to form the same under Maharashtra Ownership of Flats Act 1963 under Section 10. Once 60% of the flats are sold by the builder is required to form a society, failing which a criminal prosecution can be brought against the builder and could be made to penalize under Section 13, where the imprisonment is up to 2 years. So, the person should send a legal notice to the builder calling upon him to form the society, failing which the person who has bought the flat can definitely sell the flat to whomever he wants without coming under any pressure of paying any amount of NOC to the builder.
All right, Hemang, thank you so much for that answer. And Vinod, to help you out a little more and to help out other viewers who are considering buying a resale apartment, we've put together a list. Now, here's a list of documents that you must make sure you have when you're buying an apartment, not from a builder, but from another investor. Take a look. Here's a list of documents you should make sure you have when you're buying resale property. The original and absolute sale deed between the vendor and the original owner and the vendor and yourself. The original possession certificate, the Carta or the 712 extract, sanctioned building plan, an incumbent certificate that covers the last 13 years, a copy of the latest tax receipt, the ULC order issued by the additional collector or a competent authority, the last paid bills like society maintenance, electricity and other utilities. Alright, I hope you wrote that down. Now remember, if you have any questions about anything to do with property, you can write to us on the email ID that's at the bottom of your screen. You can also reach me personally on Twitter. Next week, we're going to talk about Gurgaon and we'll talk about why Hyderabad is such a hot market right now and if you should consider investing in it. Tune in next week to catch the Property Guide. Thanks for watching.